All right, everybody, so we're going to try something new this week. We're going to start doing weekly. We're going to do videos, and so we're going to call these videos
Check Your Briefs.
Yes, because these are going to be briefings of what we're doing, what's coming in the future, how to help you guys as leaders, so on and so forth. So yeah, let's go ahead and just jump in right here.
Wait, before we do, shouldn't we start out with a title and maybe some dance moves?
No, let's just sort of jump. So first of all, we want to talk to you about what we covered in our leadership training meeting this last week. A lot of people thought it'd be helpful if we sent out a video talking about these things, and so we just want to hit some high points very quickly. And one of the main things we discussed was the idea of the discussion questions that we pass out and whether or not those are helpful. And most people felt like they were extremely helpful, but we just want to emphasize that those questions are not like the end-all be-all of your discussions. They're meant to sort of help you foster discussion, but your goal shouldn't be necessarily to read through all of those questions, or your goal should be to create discussion. And a lot of times it takes building relationship to even have anything to discuss with your students. And so if what you're doing in your group time is just reading the questions, you're kind of not really providing the purpose of having small groups. The most important question on that sheet every week is number one: what happened to you this week? We want you guys to really get to know your students, so that when you do ask some of the more spiritual questions, there's a little bit more of a basis in trusting and understanding for the students to go into. So getting together with your students outside of church, whether it's some kind of small group party that you do or something like that, we really want to encourage you to do that. Or coming to our youth group events, like some events that are coming up. Your students are going to be there. You should come and get to know them outside of the small group time. So really try to become a mentor of your students more than a teacher of your students. Matt and I are going to do the messages, and your job really is to mentor those messages into their life based off of where they're at, which is something that we're not able to do, so we're depending on you to do. Some of the other things we covered
we also talked about roll sheets and how they're not just roll sheets, because as we mentioned before, we're sort of the overall supervisors, and you guys are the ones on the ground. So you for instance have a list of their birthdays, which you could take advantage of. When there are new people, we don't necessarily know there are new people, but you could contact them and then also let us know that we have some new faces, because then we can be looking out for them as well. So these are all just helpful things you can use on this attendance sheet. For instance, when they're gone for a couple weeks, you could give them a call, or if they're gone for a month, you could pass that on to us, and we could give them a call too, so just keep them in the fold.
All right, so some of the suggestions that were given to us at the leaders, one of the things that's a concern for our students is a lot of them don't bring their Bibles, or they don't regularly read their Bibles. So something that Matt and I are working on right now is a list of Bible apps that you can encourage your students to download on their phones, even some relevant apps that are like devotionals for them, for the youth, that you can encourage them to have a daily scripture reading life. And so we're gonna put some of that stuff together and get some of that out. Being able to put some pictures on our website of your students and things like that is also something that we're looking into the possibility of doing, since not all of our students have Facebook. And then another thing that we're working on, and make sure everybody's aware of this, and it's not something that we're expecting to happen next week, but in the near future, there is a reality where we're going to start working on what a midweek Bible study could look like for our youth group. And so that's something to look forward to, and to be praying about whether or not that's something that you want to plug into. So so any time that you could come up with an idea or something that Matt or I could do to help support you in what you do, we want to hear that. Feel free to come talk to us about ways that we can support you, whether that's through Bible apps or whatever, or you have a student that's struggling with a certain issue, or you're looking for resources for something you're doing within your small group. Matt and I can connect you to a whole lot of things, so we want to make sure that you guys know that we're willing to do that. And get this on your radar, next Friday, this very next Friday that's coming up, is March Madness, and we want you to be there. It's going to be a big party. There's not a whole lot of responsibility on your part other than just mentoring with the students, do a little dance, have some fun, but really use that as an opportunity to work with your students, and to get to know them outside of your normal small group time. It's a great way to work on some of those relationships. So, hey, we appreciate what you guys do, and we love you a whole lot. And is there anything else you want to say?
No.
All right, so this is... No,
tune in next week for the next episode of
Check Your Breathe.